In this practice, we will be focusing on the center of our body, our belly, our torso. We may find that nowadays we are sitting a little bit more than we would like. And so this practice serves to create a little bit of movement in this area so that we can massage our digestive system organs, as well as create a little movement around the diaphragm, our primary breathing muscle, so that hopefully things can move with a little bit more ease in our body and that we can connect to a more relaxed and calming breath. So I invite you to come into a standing position and bring your awareness to your belly by bringing your hands to the belly, one on your upper and one on your lower abdominal area. And can you feel the touch of your hands on this area? Maybe notice if there's a temperature, maybe there's a warmth to the hands. See if you can notice any movement of the belly in response to the breath, either the inhale and the exhale, or both. And now we're going to intentionally create a little movement with breath here. So on an inhale, can you feel a sense of your belly expanding a little bit, maybe kind of a quality of a gentle back bend? And then as you exhale, pull your lower belly in, kind of tuck the tailbone under and round your low back. So on an inhale, let yourself kind of open the front of the belly, the arms swing back. And then as you exhale, pull the belly in and let the hands come forward. And now you're going to move with the rhythm of your breath, inhaling to open the front of the belly, exhale to gently contract the front of the belly. I know I like to think of the arms being like a sheet on the clothesline, and that with the breeze of the breath, that sheet floats up, it floats down. And just let yourself do a few more pass-throughs, feeling the front body and the back body. Notice how they contract and expand. And then coming into center. Notice what it feels like to have moved your belly, your spine forward and back in space. And now we're going to start to move side to side. Now some hand positions that are available are, you could either just have your arms rest by your side and kind of reach down as we side bend. If you like the feeling of the hands on your pelvis, you can bring your hands kind of just on the top of your pelvis. And another option is just hands behind the head, elbows kind of reaching out to the side. And now you're going to inhale, get nice and tall, like the crown of the head could touch the ceiling. As you exhale, side bend to one side. It's like you're pouring over to one side. And then as you inhale, that pulls you back up to standing tall. Your next exhale, you come over to the second side. And inhale, come back in. So let yourself continue with this, moving with your breath. See if you can feel a sense of stretching aside as you side bend away from it. Maybe feel that side engage as you pull yourself back up. And you could keep your hands where they're at, or if you want to add a little bit of a stretch, a lengthen, you could reach up and over on the side you're stretching. Almost like a little morning yawn. And let yourself play with this a few more times. If you want to make sounds like you are yawning, you're more than welcome to. All right, and then let yourself come back to center. Notice how the left side of your torso feels, the right side of your torso. And then we're going to come into a forward bend. So you'll inhale, you'll bring your arms up and overhead. And then as you exhale, you'll swan dive down, hinging from the hips, maybe slightly bending your knees. And on an inhale, sweep your arms out and up and come back up to standing. And so as you come down, you pull the belly in, feel a little bit of contraction in the belly. Let your hands rest wherever is comfortable. As you inhale and you come up, you feel the stretch of the front belly. So you're kind of going back and forth between contracting through the belly, the abdomen, and then coming and opening it. Now let yourself do 1 or 2 more here. Please move at the rhythm of your breath, exhaling down, inhaling, coming back up. And then on your next exhale, you'll just bring your arms down by your side. Take a moment to notice, how do you feel things in your center? And then we're going to come into a twist. Now, I have a couple visuals, images I'm going to offer here. The first is thinking that your arms are 2 long, heavy ropes, and your hands, your fists are like knots in those ropes. So there's a little bit of weight as we swing the arms. The other image I will offer is if you were ever as a kid, or maybe even as an adult, putting on a winter coat and then you don't put your arms into the sleeves, but you just swing them around so they're empty. Same kind of thing. That's what we're going for here. So you've got your arms by your side, letting them be nice and loose, heavy, and you're going to start to swing them side to side. And letting yourself feel the contact of your arms as they come across your body, behind your body. You can decide how much kind of oomph you want to put behind that connection of your arms to your torso. And then if you want, you can even bring your legs into this so that you lift the heel on the side you are twisting away from. Now as you're doing this, you can play with tempo. Maybe you go a little faster, maybe a little bit slower. But just letting the arms almost feel effortless as you let momentum carry from side to side and feel a twist across your abdomen. And then when you feel like you're in a place that you want to start slowing it down, you just gradually decrease the speed, slowly bringing yourself to center and bringing your body into some stillness. And notice what you notice. Okay. We're going to play with some circles. And so we'll play around with some circles in the rib cage, and then we'll bring that down into the lower body, into the hips and pelvis. So for the torso, you're going to bring your hands behind your head, and you're interlacing your fingers, bring them to the base of your head, and then you're going to kind of pull a little bit up. So you're creating a little bit of space in the back of the neck, and also feeling like the hands are some head support so that you don't feel like you're falling way back. Okay. Now from here, what we're going to do is feel yourself lift your ribs up out of your rib cage. Imagine that your head could touch the ceiling, and we're going to draw a circle on the ceiling with our head. So you're going to slowly, from your rib cage, circle side, back, side, and front. And this has more of a quality of lifting up than going forward and back. So maybe, especially as you're going back, feel like you're lifting up towards the ceiling. And can you feel the sense of stretch through the side ribs, how it moves to the front, the side, and through the back? And then when you're in a good place to switch direction, just going the other way. Now if you find that the hands behind the head is not serving, you know that you could do this whole move maybe with the hands on the rib cage and moving around that pivot point. And can you notice the opening on one side, the contraction on the other? Always feeling supported in the movement, so you're not going way back or way to the side. And then bring yourself back into center. Feel the sense of the rib cage over your waist, over your hips. And then we're going to bring it a little bit lower down. So widen the feet, a little wider than hip distance, and you can play around with, do you want your toes forward or out? And then we'll slide the hips to one side and then start to circle the hips around. And you could go clockwise, you could go counterclockwise first. That is totally up to you. That is your choice. And as you're exploring this, can you make that circle as smooth as possible? Just noticing where it might feel a little choppy, taking your time as you move through there. And then when you're in a good place to reverse the direction, you can come around the other way. Checking in, make sure that you're breathing, that it's flowing, that you're not holding or gripping the breath. And maybe can you notice how the sensation changes? You might feel something in the outer hip and then the belly, then inner thighs. Okay, and when that feels complete, bring your feet in underneath you. And now the last thing I'll offer in this practice is just doing a bit of a belly massage. And so we're going to follow the pathway of the large intestine. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our hands over to the right side of our body. Maybe start at the right lower, kind of at the hip crease area. And then you're going to take your hands, you move up the ascending colon, come across the transverse, go down the descending on the left, and then come around. So you start to make a little circle here. And as you're doing this, you get to grade how much pressure feels good. Does it need to be light? Does it need to be a little bit deeper? And I like to think of this as I'm moving in a clockwise circle. And you can keep your hands going as they are. But for me, when I think of it clockwise, I've got a clock in front of me. I'm looking at it. And then when I place it down, I tip it down on my belly. And that means that 12 is going to be down and 6 is going to be up if I'm looking at that clock. And then I let myself move in that clockwise direction that travels from the right across to the left. All right, and then bring yourself back into center where we started, hands on your belly. Maybe notice if there are any changes in sensation here, in temperature, in flow, in circulation. And I thank you for practicing with me. I hope it has been useful. Enjoy. Be well.